The Citadel served as the Prothean seat of government in the core of their vast galaxy-wide empire. Although the Protheans were originally a single race, their expansion led to the assimilation of other spacefaring species, which would all subsequently adopt the name Prothean for themselves.
We were one empire composed of many subjects. All eventually called themselves Prothean.
This assimilation was not always peaceful. Advanced species that resisted or opposed their integration into the Empire were forcibly conquered and incorporated into Prothean society.
What if they didn't want to?
They weren't given a choice.
Are you saying you enslaved the other species?
Any could oppose us if they wished, and if they had won, they would have ruled. Many tried. None succeeded.
They justified this cultural reconditioning by asserting that if these opposing races were truly stronger, they would supplant the Protheans as the galaxy's dominant civilization. This belief aligned with their idea of evolution, or the cosmic imperative, which posited that the strong must dominate the weak for the greater good. In a universe that didn't seem to care how much things suffered, high-tech civilization was the only thing that could bring about a comfortable life. And even if they didn't know it, the less advanced species only contributed to the chaos of the galaxy.
What right did your people have to subjugate the other races of your time? You enslaved them.
We dominated them. They were weaker. Our will prevailed as evolution intended.
This philosophy was also driven by necessity. After encountering hostile machine intelligences, the Protheans concluded that all organic races needed to unite for survival. They made efforts to integrate newly inducted servant races smoothly, such as implementing Prothean language tutorial programs, hoping to make their integration into the Empire as easy as possible. Early Prothean architecture was both functional and decorative, with distinct dynasties producing their own unique styles. However, as their extinction neared, architectural designs became simpler. Archaeologists speculate that this shift resulted from the Protheans being preoccupied with fighting the Reapers, leaving little time for aesthetic considerations. Evidence from beacons and the Elatania ruins indicate that, like the Asari, the Protheans were adept at transferring data directly into an individual's mind. They heavily invested in scientific research, a strategy that bore fruit, albeit too late to save their own species. Javik, if freed from stasis in 2186, stands as the only known living source of extensive knowledge about Prothean culture. However, the fact that he shares information that often contradicts the established galactic understanding does make it difficult to verify his claims. This may seem odd to doubt a living, breathing Prothean from the time in question, but imagine if a single person from the past, say ancient Rome, was brought into modern day and asked about how every aspect of their society worked, from technology to life on the furthest cities. You could see experts trusting the archaeological record and other objective sources of information as opposed to one guy's story.
What sort of government did you have, and can you tell me about your religious beliefs, or perhaps the...
We are dead now. What does it matter?
I'm sorry. Studying your history has been a lifelong passion of mine.
When I was born, our empire was already at war with the Reapers. The first thing I remember was seeing my planet on fire.
But most agree he does give a great look into the day-to-day life of Protheans. The society would have certain individuals be designated as avatars or exemplars of specific traits such as bravery, strength, or cunning.
Among my people, there were avatars of many traits: bravery, strength, cunning. A single exemplar for each.
Javik himself is the avatar of vengeance. This title could even be conferred upon non-Protheans. For instance, Javik refers to Commander Shepard as an exemplar of victory during the final stages of the Reaper War. Prothean society was highly regulated and disciplined, and Javik mentions that he gambled, engaging in games of chance, something that was punishable by death. Weirdly enough, a common pastime among Protheans was a staring contest, which was made more challenging by their 4 eyes, and females used their eyes to initiate foreplay. The Protheans did not pursue romantic relationships with species they considered primitive. Although they found some species, like the Quarians, attractive, mating with them was seen as pointless. Though the Asari do seem exempt from these mating restrictions. While many of the other species that were conquered and enslaved were often eaten, the Protheans didn't seem to have any hesitations about consuming sentient species, and their stomachs were able to process a wider array of chemical makeups. Javik, while drunk, says that dextro-amino acid-based races like the primitive Turians and Quarians were just as likely to be a part of Prothean cuisine as primitive humans, as well as Asari, Hanar, Solarians, and Krogan. Hanar were typically boiled or fried, and Solarian liver was considered a delicacy.
He is correct. It was a delicacy in our cycle.
Accounts of which must have been used by rebel recruiting agencies all over the galaxy. What could be more motivating to overthrow their Prothean lords than knowing that these high-tech aliens would callously eat your kids one day? Before the Reaper invasion, notable Prothean accomplishments included the Quasar Fortress of the Tyrants Vale, the ice canals of Judor IV, and the palisades of the Varam Angelic. These wonders were remembered by the last remaining Protheans through memory shards, handheld devices that stored and replayed memories. And these devices could download new memories from both Protheans and non-Protheans. During the Reaper War, soldiers passed these memory shards among themselves, preserving the stark contrast between their glorious past and their grim present. Though the Protheans did not create the mass relays or the Citadel, they studied developing races such as humans and Hanar, and did build the galaxy-wide communications network using beacons that transmitted information directly from mind to mind. Their data storage devices have endured for 50,000 years, and they employed cryogenic preservation techniques capable of withstanding neutron bombardment. And in these highly advanced structures, they would utilize intricate holographic interfaces, developing a form of VI technology that utilized personality imprints derived from actual individuals, akin to the Quarians' practice of creating ancestor VIs from scans of their forebearers. In their prime, these VI holograms closely resembled the Protheans they represented. However, after 50,000 years, the projection quality degraded from clear depictions to indistinct blobs of light. Despite this, the core systems of these VIs remained durable and capable of making accurate assessments by analyzing their surroundings. One significant technology the Protheans developed was the detection of indoctrinated individuals, with this tech being integrated into their VI systems. Despite this advancement and their natural ability to read others, the Protheans could still fall victim to traitors within their own ranks.
But traitors within our ranks, indoctrinated agents, betrayed us, and the Reapers discovered our plan.
The architecture on Pharos and Ilos demonstrate the Protheans' ability to build and maintain enormous cities and arcologies. However, because the Protheans used the Reaper-made technology of the Citadel and Mass Effect relays, this would inspire the look of a lot of their buildings and technology, so much of the architecture appears influenced from structures like the Citadel, which blurs the line between what the Protheans built and what they discovered. And to complicate that even more, some of the cities, particularly those on Ilos, were constructed upon the ruins of the Anusanan, a civilization from a cycle before the Protheans that was wiped out roughly 50,000 years before them, with many worlds having layers of harvested civilizations on them. Protheans were also adept at crafting kinetic barriers. They constructed elaborate Mass Effect defense grids using barrier curtains and developed a type of personal defense shield that acted like an energy bubble. The shield would surround and levitate the individual who activated it, rendering them impervious to harm but also immobilized, similar to a biotic stasis field. One of the most advanced pieces of tech developed by the Protheans was the Conduit, a miniature prototype mass relay designed to connect Ilos directly to the Citadel. This achievement remained unparalleled by any known contemporary or predecessor race. It's the closest thing anyone ever got to Reaper technology, as reverse engineering a mass relay was considered near impossible. And while detailed knowledge of the Prothean military is scarce, it is known that they possessed fleets capable of defending their empire against various threats, even having things in place from threats from outside the galaxy. The flagship of the Prothean Navy, Penumbra Apex, was equipped with a cannon comparable in power to a Geth dreadnought's main weapon. Fighter craft within the Empire were piloted by individuals who were solely responsible for their upkeep, something like a knight and their personal horse, and it was considered a great honor to be buried with one's fighter craft. During the height of the Reaper invasion that ultimately destroyed the Prothean Empire, they would develop the Particle Rifle, a powerful assault rifle designed to operate without specialized ammunition or thermal clips. A crucial innovation after the Reapers decimated the Empire's warships that forced the Prothean resistance to create weapons that could function without relying on intact supply lines, creating technologies and strategies to combat their seemingly unstoppable foes. Though their legacy is still largely shrouded in mystery, it would influence and inspire the galaxy's current civilizations, and would provide those species that they once tried to uplift with the only tool to finally defeat the Reaper cycle. So now let's turn to their history proper.